excited. I want to share with you guys a little bit today about Palenque. Now, if you've been following the program, you know that we are studying and researching into natural wonders of Mexico. However, if you've also been paying attention, you know that 4 weeks from now, our virtual field trips will be centered around the Mayans. Now, the Mayan Empire was huge, and we also have a great opportunity as we move through this part of the world to visit many different sites and locations that the Mayans had part of their entirety of their empire. So we visited one of the more famous ones, which is Palenque, yesterday, and unfortunately we couldn't shoot any live stuff from up on top of the ruins, which is about 3 kilometers that way, 3 or 4 kilometers that way, but I can share some footage with you now. So that's what I'm going to do. So this is going to vary a little bit, and this is going to be a theme that we'll do over the next few weeks. Is we are going to be visiting multiple Mayan sites, but we won't be covering them exclusively until we get to the 2 weeks of our Mayan research, which will happen from Guatemala. But so I'm excited to share with you about Palenque. So just a little bit background. Palenque was one of the later cities that was built, and it was also one of the first deserted. And because of that, it's also one of the places that's like the pinnacle of Mayan glyphs as well as their artwork. So there were great examples. Some of the most well-preserved glyphs, Mayan glyphs, are at Palenque that we saw at the museum. We'll show you a little bit now, but to see all the stuff, you'll need to participate in our Mayan virtual field trips in a couple weeks. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and start showing you a little bit about Palenque. So Palenque is built into the side of a hill, and when you first walk up, resize this, I'll stand over here. So when you first walk up, this is one of the first ruins that you see, and about 95% or so of the ruins are swallowed up by the jungle. So only about 5% or so are free of vegetation. And so they actually trim the ruins. They actually power wash it sometimes, which I thought was kind of funny, and seems that would be detrimental to the ruins, but I'm not an expert on keeping up ruins. But I thought that was kind of funny. And this is from the museum. So this is a tomb of one of the rulers of Palenque. And to give you an idea of where they took this out from, if we go here, so here's a diagram of one of the pyramids. And you'll see kind of towards the center, towards the bottom of the pyramid in the cutout, this is where they discovered this tomb. So you would enter down from the top. Let's see. One of the cool things, they tried to protect a lot of the artwork and glyphs at Palenque. And how they do that is they put up these cage barriers to some of these spots that have sensitive materials on the walls. But what I thought was really cool is they actually open up a window for you, and you can see Kelsey B here where she's actually getting in there to get some clear shots that we'll be sharing on our virtual field trip with you guys. This is from the museum, so this is how well preserved some of these glyphs are. So the Mayans had by far the most sophisticated writing system that you find in Mesoamerica, not in all of the Americas, in the ancient Americas. And so they had a really sophisticated glyph system. Here's some more that are up close. And you can see how well these were actually preserved. They found these in the tomb that I was showing you that they pulled out. This was, they called it the Temple of Inscriptions, I believe. And that's because they found one of the largest ever collection of glyphs in one spot that was this well preserved. Here's from the top of the site. Looking down over, I mean, the site is huge, but this gives you an idea that it was built into the side of a mountain. And these things are ginormous. So you can kind of see, if you see it off in the distance, the smaller ruin to the left of the screen towards the bottom. There's a person walking up there, and that can give you a little bit of the perspective of what we're looking at here. This one on the right was a pretty massive, and so this represents the basically the celestial bodies of them. And we also have some very well kept engravings, and this was from the took a 3D scan of this, so I'll be sending this out to you guys. So if you have a 3D printer, you'll be able to print it off if you want. How cool is that? What you'll notice is a lot of these that are more well preserved is you see the white stucco that's on these. On the inner parts, you can see it that's still on the walls. Now these whole, all these ruins were just covered with the stuff. So you can imagine it being a white city when you first got there. Here's one that's not as well kept, but it gives you an idea of what some of these look like and why they're trying to protect them. To one of the temples, or one of the burial temples, and we'll give you a sneak peek inside, look inside of one of them. Here you go. Hey explorers, this is GOB for Learn Around the World's GeoShow. I can't do a live broadcast right now because I'm inside a Mayan tomb, and I want to show you what's going on right here in Palenque, Mexico. As we walk in, it's so much cooler in here. Temperature-wise, it's so hot outside, and you can see where this door has been busted open, and this was a tomb. All right, explorers, well, that's going to do it for this episode of GeoShow Live. I'm going to try to do more of these because we had very little internet access, and so we weren't able to do as much periscoping, as much content to get out because we have to edit those afterwards and then upload them to YouTube. This is streaming right directly to YouTube, and it goes on there for you guys to consume it live or after right away. So we'll try to do more of these. If and when we have poor internet connection, like we've had over the last 3 days, we're leaving in about 5 minutes. We're going to jump on a small bus to go to the bus station, and we're going to jump on another night bus tonight. So we'll be on the road for another 10 hours tonight, and we'll be arriving in Tulum tomorrow morning. That's going to be our home base over the next week as we finish putting together our Natural Wonders of Southern Mexico show. Now, we can't show you everything because there's so many, but we're going to show you lots of cool stuff, like maybe some of the jungles that we find here in Southern Mexico, the great monarch butterfly migration. We got that for you, that we visited the biopreserve right outside of Mexico City. Fabulous, one of the world's great migrations. And lots of other cool stuff that stay tuned because it's going to be exciting, and we can't wait to share this stuff with you guys. If you're just joining us, you don't know who we are. We run an education program called GeoShow. It's a 12-week virtual expedition where we're making all these live shows, recorded content, interviews, all sorts of stuff. Just check it out at www.geoshow.tv, and we hope to see you on our program, that you follow along. Also, if you are following us, don't forget that we only have a couple more days left in this week's Culture Challenge. So each week you have the opportunity to share about your home location, your home culture. And this week's topic is art. So share your artwork or share the type of art that may be popular in your neck of the woods on this blue planet. So until next time, guys, my name is GOB, and you've been watching the Geo Show. And as always, keep exploring.